Hey, okay, we got to catch up with the Stone Protectors. We are actually halfway through the series, unless I find those unaired episodes. There's three. We're currently on episode five, and so if I don't find those unaired episodes, we're just gonna see 10 episodes. So, and but I'll keep looking. I'm I'm on the hunt. But anyway, let's just get into it, shall we? Oh, looks like a flashback.
Be strong, my warriors. We have to fight on. We must defeat the Saurian invaders.
The Crystal Palace and all Mithrandir shall be under my control. Fire!
This isn't a flashback to episode one, is
No
it?
prisoners! Find the Great Crystal!
Please, hurry! If we fail to protect the Great Crystal, then we will lose all Mithrandir.
Yeah, this isn't exactly what happened, so.
Let's go! Open fire! Smash these doors to smithereens!
The Saurians are almost through. There's only one hope, the Weaponogs.
Yeah, convenient that the doors don't break
Thanks
down.
for the wake-up call, Empress. It's nice to be back.
You're our only hope, Attila.
It's been a long time, sweetheart. I gotta loosen up these old joints.
Hurry, Attila, get moving! Come on, the doors are giving way!
Sheesh. Can an old weapon all get a morning cup of oil first? I'll have to
Another
talk to my
character that gives
favorite
nothing but
rabbi
dad
first.
jokes.
Go! Get him, Attila!
Didn't your mothers ever teach you no manners? Tennis, anyone? Ha! That's what I call a little help from my friends. Ooh-ah.
Oh man.
We'll be back. Saurians never give up.
Yet
Team
you run.
champion match goes to Weaponogs. Yeah.
Weaponog Attila, for your bravery in saving our Crystal City, I bestow upon you the Mithrandirian Medal of Freedom.
Look like a Soro glider, sting like a Sherman. If you're looking for a thriller, call on Attila. Yeah.
We present you and your fellow Weaponogs with this home, where you may all live forever in peace, soothed by the sounds of your beloved rock and roll.
Okay. So I do like how the flashback is colored, it looks like a lot like the old comic books, like what I remember. And because in some of the comic books that I have, a lot of times they would do the sepia tone for flashbacks. And but it's almost like they didn't know how to write this character's dialogue. It's like, do we do Muhammad Ali? Do we do like one of the Rat Pack? Do we do what do we do with this dialogue? He's kind of all over the place. But I'm not sure how I feel about him yet. Because he was spouting off a bunch of dad jokes, uh, and which are considered dad jokes now. I mean, they were just considered absolutely silly back then, you know. And again, this is a kid's show. But now the other thing, is kid in the 80s, I saw the Star Wars cartoons, the droids and the Ewoks. Now, in the droids cartoon, those droids, first of all, R2-D2 at one point is playing a guitar. I'm sure that has been made into a GIF. And C3PO blinks. The eye blinks. And I've seen on Twitter every once in a while people bring up this cartoon series and they're like, do people not, did people in the 80s, were they so stoned out of their minds that they just did not understand how a droid works, how an android works, that they're robots, that their eyes don't blink. And it's like, it's a cartoon. There's no logic. Nobody ever thought that Skeletor is basically a zombie. We don't care. I bring that up. I bring up the droid thing, not Skeletor, but that's a whole other video in its own. But great, now all of YouTube is going to be bringing that up, but I hope not. I like Skeletor. I've always been a fan of Skeletor. But I bring up the whole thing with the droid cartoon because I was watching to see this character to see if they had his eyes blink. I'm wondering if these weaponogs, their eyes are gonna. Let's watch. Oh my gosh. Because in some cartoons when they had the robots, it it was um they kept to the logic. Other times, just like with C3PO the cartoon, he blinked. There was also where R2 got the zoomies. It's really weird. He was moving kind of weird. I think that's been turned into a GIF too. That that cartoon defied all logic when it came to droids. It was like, forget it. They're Jello now. And us kids didn't care because it was a Star Wars thing. We just didn't care. We got something new that was Star Wars, and we drank it up. So, so throughout this, let's look and see if their eyes blink, if these robots, their eyes blink. Okay, so let's continue.
So you have it, my dear Zeke. Our first attack on Mithrandir, foiled by Attila and his weaponogs. If I'd been there, I'd have crushed that bucket of bullshit.
I'm sure you would have.
Take a look at this. I hate that racket. Bucket of bolts he may be, but I bet you
Yeah, see, he sounds like the 60s rock and roll and 50s and 60s.
Oh, that's why you're our fearless leader. Fearless leader. But the weaponogs are on the Empress Opal side.
Good point.
Rock and roll is the key. They love that music. It soothes them. If we pull the plug on that dreadful noise, the weaponogs will snap. Then whoever controls the music they like controls the weaponogs.
The Weaponogs saved this
Hmm.
planet. These days, the power of the Great Crystal has made them obsolete, and we need heroes who can harmonize with the gemstones. That's why we have you. But we still owe the Weaponogs big time. And those boys do love their rock and roll. So this year, you're gonna give them a benefit concert.
Y'all don't think it'll be weird gigging in front of a bunch of machines?
Good point.
No worse than some of them audiences back on Earth. Great gosh almighty, I'll take the machines any day. I'm with you, Angus. The only thing our Earth audiences know about heavy metal was how they like to throw it at us. I mean, you just remember that bunch in Hoboken.
Not these guys. They love rock, and they're gonna love you too.
Outstanding. I'm so hungry I could eat a battleship. Boy, where's my Axel Grease burger? Boy, boy!
I'm coming.
Oh, wow, that's the Stone Protectors. Oh, man, I heard they can really play.
Looks like a bunch of punkers to me. Ask me, rock and roll's going to the dogs. Oh!
Attila. Oh, it's so good to see you.
Hey, good to be seen. You look more and more like your old grandma, sweetheart. Or, Empress. Who are these? The Royal Bowling Team?
I don't need
Oh,
this.
here we
I'm
go.
gonna lock myself in the van and never come out. Show or no show. Keep your meat hooks off me, blender brain.
Chill, man. Don't mind me. I'm always shooting off my big mouth. No hard feelings?
Well, as long as you keep your hands off the merchandise.
Aye, Commander.
So, what are y'all waiting for? Let's set up and blow these old geezers' doors off. Empress, Weaponogs, say yeah!
This is the benefit concert? Was the benefit concert just for the robots? I guess, okay. And if you didn't hear, the Empress that was at the beginning in the flashback was her grandmother. I was wondering about that. I was wondering if, yeah. And so I st I'm still wondering where exactly what they're trying to do with this character. Because I'm understanding that his version of rock and roll is like in the 50s and 60s, but his dialogue is all over the place. They weren't quite sure what to do with it. And and which I'm fine with 50s and 60s rock. I mean, like one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite biopics is La Bamba. That is one of my all-time favorites. I absolutely love La Bamba. And I actually it's back in my library. It's up here, right there. And I mean, I think that's where I formed a crush on Lou Diamond Phillips. And not gonna lie, but that's one of those movies, in all seriousness, where the soundtrack is as good as the movie. So, but so yeah, I enjoy uh 50s and 60s rock. Um One of the jokes about La Bamba is that Brian Setzer, because he's in that, is still being Brian Setzer. You know, because a lot of people are saying that Jack Black never stops being Jack Black. I think Brian is another one of those. He never really stops being himself. So, yeah, this particular character, I I get that he's supposed to be an old timer. That much I get, but the dialogue is just, am I the only one that's kind of confused on that? I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. All right, let's keep going.
To the Stone Protectors!
Yeah! Rock me back to the Stone Age, man! Ow! Let's see if some judiciously doctored Muzak won't jolt these metalheads into action.
Uh-oh.
One, two, one, two, three!
Oh dear.
Wait, what in Sam Hill?
Not strings, anything but
Uh-oh. What's happening?
stop it! Stop that awful sound! Make it go away! Ow!
I almost want to be insulted.
Ah! Hey, watch it! It's not us! We haven't even started playing!
Stop it, Bowie! Stop it!
I can't help it, Empress. It's horrible music.
That's Attila. He's the one. We get him, we've got them all. The Stone Protectors are your enemies, Attila. They claim to play
Guys.
one, but they lie. This is their latest album. No! The Stone Protectors, Attila. Get the Stone Protectors. Get the Stone Protectors. I will get the Stone Protectors.
Oh, it's actually working.
The Stone Protectors.
This is not good.
The Stone Protectors. Get the Stone.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Rock and roll will never die.
Well, that's honest. Yeah.
No, Attila, stop! This is your Empress! I command you to cease fire!
Destroy the Empress and you destroy the Stone Protectors.
Oh, it got intense just now.
The Empress and you destroy the Stone Protectors.
Yeah, save her. Wow. That that escalated so fast. Holy goodness. Okay, now first of all, yeah, I almost want to be insulted because I took orchestra for years. I even composed some music for my viola and everything. I still have my viola. I'm a very proud violist. So come on now. Classical music isn't that bad. I mean, come on. We have the song Rock Me Amadeus by the late great Falco. So, oh man, gone too soon is he. Oh, we lost a good one when he left us. But so as I was saying earlier with the eyes of these, he had pupils. Robots shouldn't have that, but it was terrifying. Again, this is for kids, and that was I mean, again, I will use Skeletor as an example. I mean, yeah, Skeletor was as snarky can be, but I don't remember him ever being scary. I really don't. Was he ever? Was that show ever terrifying? I honestly don't remember it getting intense. It could have. I mean, seizures do take away memory, so it's possible that it did. So, uh, but that, yeah, I mean, here she is standing up. I mean, thank goodness he got her out of the way because good heaven. I understand having, 'cause she is the empress and she needs to protect and everything, but my gosh, he's destroying things. Uh, I don't think she has an heir to take over. And oh goodness. Yeah, that's another thing. Does she have? I don't think so. That's something we've never really discussed about this particular series. We're on episode 5. This series didn't last very long, but does she have an heir that if something happens to her, such as what was just happening, would would the heir take over and could that heir would they know their duty with the stone protectors? Huh, that's something to think about. Yeah, we never discussed that before. Hmm. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, get her out of there.
The stone protectors are escaping, sir!
It merely delays the inevitable, my dear Zink. Huh? With Attila the Weaponog on our side, we cannot fail to stump the Empress, the Stone Protectors, and any idiot Mithrandirian who stands in my way. We will own the planet.
But Attila's crazy, sir! He's berserk! He's out of control!
Then you
Listen
will
to
bring
him.
him under control, Zink. You will be the sole source of the music he likes.
Oh, he's got a plan B.
I'll break it. Get in my face. I'll step up the pace. Stand aside if you're not on my ride. Oh, man.
See, he's got.
It's not who I am, it's the music I play!
Oh, yeah. Then take me to your leader and let's kick out the jams now. Attila the Weaponog, we Saurians greatly admire your capabilities. We need your services. No can do. You see, this old warrior's out to pasture.
Oh, you don't seem to understand, Rust Bucket. We're not asking.
Whoa.
I think I'm not asking.
Right, Sock's not asking, he's telling.
Oh, man.
Now will you serve Sock?
Okay, I think I kind of. I didn't even think about this before when it comes to the dialogue, the way that he's rhyming and everything. That was early, that was early 90s rap. Like Vanilla Ice and all that. So, yeah. And I mean, even when you look back to the to Will Smith, I mean, Will Smith showed up in the late 80s, very late 80s. I think the first time he showed up was in 89. I could be wrong about that. But because I remember him showing up at one of the New Year's events, the Dick Clark New Year's Eve. And I remember seeing him. And but yeah, the way that it just dawned on me. It just clicked that the way that Attila is talking is just like the silly rhyming technique of the early 90s. Like MC Hammer and a lot of the others that I remember hearing a lot of on the radio. Of course, but it was really catchy. When you hear a lot of it, well, just like I remember, everybody knows, um, well, there was like the Good Vibrations and Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch and um Everybody Dance Now. It's just all those different uh that had those catchy beats in them and all those catchy. Yeah, that was in the early 90s, late 80s. And we all danced to them. One of the things is the song like Too Legit to Quit. We were all singing them. And I remember being out on the playground singing all those songs because they were catchy. We had no clue what we were actually singing. We were just and oh my gosh, just like with Marky Mark. And when he sang that, the good vibrations in the whole song is about how he's not taking drugs anymore and he's going to the gym now. It's like the whole song. But it was so catchy. So when Attila is doing these, I thought that it sounded like because the first one that he rambled on sounded like Muhammad Ali, uh float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And so that's where my mind went. But no, as I'm hearing it more, that's everybody dance now. And oh, I had a dance. There was a dance instructor. I think it was the tap teacher. And for years, she would choreograph dances to that one song. That one, and there was another song, and I can't come up with the name of it, but it was a particular song. So we heard it for years until she left that studio. And we would always, and so we knew when she would start choreographing because you heard everybody dance. Oh, oh, how I miss dancing in the 90s, dancing in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, all those songs that they would use. Oh gosh. Now I understand this character. Now I get it. Okay. All right, let's keep going. He's got tears coming. How can a robot cry?
The Weaponogs were once our friends and our protectors. Now, from all over Mithrandir, there are reports of Weaponogs running wild. My people are terrified and dispirited.
Attila is assaulting the crystal mines of Frostbite. The miners are begging for help.
Let's go!
This is not good.
There he is!
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain expects turbulence. Kindly fasten your seatbelts. You obsolete hunk of junk! My grandmother can shoot straighter than that.
Anything but that.
Apparently, he's never met a stormtrooper.
Perhaps.
Well, are you gonna spill the beans, or do we have to guess?
Attila's by far the most powerful Weaponog, right?
Right.
So maybe we can round the others up individually and then use them to subdue Attila.
You mean we gotta split up?
You got a better idea?
Oh, man. Talk about finding a needle in a haystack. Help me! Somebody! I think I'm losing my mind! Boy? Angus? Hold tight, lad. Let the music...
This robot's voice sounds familiar.
Oh, man. Oh, that's better. I thought I was going crazy.
That's no big deal. I mean, us keyboard men, we've got to stick together. Right, lad?
Right, lad.
Now, let's go find the rest of your chums and see if we can't lay some sounds of freedom on them, too.
Yeah, that robot, his voice sounds familiar, or they tried to make it sound like a particular musician or something. I don't know. I'll have to look. These rhymes are insane.
Peepers deceive me. I think we found Attila. This is no job.
There he is.
You need to be able to sight read music for this one.
Get him.
Attila, wait! Think about what you're doing. There's got to be a better way. What are you, my mother? At least listen. We're your friends. I don't know what Zoc and Zink have done to you, but we're your friends. Idiot!
Go, Angus, go!
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Angus! Angus!
That didn't sound like a keyboard. Or the one, one thing that I always wanted when I was a kid growing up in the 80s was a keytar. I remember seeing those in stores all over the place. And then it was like as soon as the 90s happened, you didn't see them anymore. But I so badly wanted a keytar. And the thing that he's playing right now reminds me of a keytar. I wanted one so bad. I so badly wanted one. Oh man. But yeah, that didn't sound like a keyboard. Is it reminds me of in Peanuts, the uh Christmas special or even, one of the originals where Schroeder is playing the piano and you hear like an entire an entire orchestra playing. How did he do that? Oh man. I mean, I know that with keyboards, a lot of times you can do, but I don't think you can do that with the portable one like that, especially in the early 90s. Not that I remember anyway. But that doesn't mean anything. I mean, I was a little kid. I started middle school in 94. So, no, 93. The brain is the first thing to go. All right, let's keep going.
Well, we got all of them except Attila.
See, his eyes show concern.
Angus! Attila got Angus.
Oh,
What?
Devastating.
Zink has Attila right under his thumb. Attila does everything Zink orders. He even blew Angus up. And now he's back in the Crystal Palace waiting for Zoc's next order.
Well, guys, I think it's time to go home. Look, Empress, we're musicians. This fight is between you and Zoc, Mithrandirians and Saurians. And well, we're neither.
He's right, Empress. We don't belong here. And now that Angus
Didn't they try to leave before and that didn't work?
go home.
For once in your lives, go all the way. Do it for Angus.
Yeah, the Empress is right, guys. Angus was a hero. He just stepped right up to Attila and played. Everything he did will be for nothing if you guys leave.
Right on. I say we finish the gig.
All right, you got a plan, big guy?
Yeah. We find Attila and we crank up on him. We play our brains out, and either we bring that old weapon hog back under control or we drop off the charts trying.
Yeah! Let's do it!
All right.
Hey, wait,
That's all it
hold the
took.
phone.
They were ready to go home.
The keyboards.
Hey, forget about the keyboards. We'll rearrange the tunes and do it without them. Let's go.
Should have spoke up, buddy.
Somewhere, I know there's a passage through this wall and beneath the castle. I used to play in it when I was a kid.
Let a pro in, Empress. Bingo!
Nice work, Cliff.
Yeah, hopefully you'll give up your day job.
Very funny.
Yeah? I thought so.
Quick, get set up. You have to start playing before Zoc knows we're here.
Hey! Cliff! Angus? I thought you were...
Toast?
They found him.
Reports of my death were greatly exaggerated.
What?
Mark Twain said that.
What, the folk singer?
Get me out of here, will you?
Uh-oh.
What a pleasant intrusion, Empress. It seems I have you all.
I'll summon the guards, sir.
No need. I believe our friendly war machine will take care of these musicians.
The bugs are biting tonight. Yeah.
Dad jokes.
No, guys! Don't fight him! Play him!
She's right. Let's rock this joint.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Turn up the volume.
You got it. Oh, we got him going, Zoc. We'll nail those grungy little jerks.
I think I'll nail these grungy little jerks.
Mm-hmm.
More power! More volume! We need keyboards!
What? Turn it up. Turn it up.
It's at full volume, sir. Won't go any higher.
More volume. Guard, guard, guard.
Was he wearing a mustache?
Playing like that? I'm out of a gig.
Let's go, boys. I think we're done here.
How do those jerks keep doing this to us?
To you, Zink. Not to me, to you.
What?
And I suspect your incompetence has a great deal to do with it.
Wow. Threw him all the way under the bus. Now, I've talked about this as we've watched this series so far, that uh, this guy, it feels like his loyalty is slowly slipping. And I feel like this is the point where he's he's getting smarter and he's going to betray. Yeah, he's no longer going to be the right-hand man. I mean, oh my gosh. It's wow. That is bold. I'm also kind of surprised that maybe they didn't see him. 'Cause the robot came in. I think he did have a mustache on, or maybe he didn't want to be recognized. Maybe he was afraid that these guys would try to compromise him like they did Attila, and so he put on a disguise. Yeah. So maybe I'm not, now that I've talked it through, I'm not surprised that they didn't say anything about him giving the keyboard aspect of what they needed. Um, that makes sense. now that I've talked it through and everything. But yeah, I have a feeling that by the time we get to the end of the series, to the last episode, this little guy is going to betray yeah, he's there's going to be a betrayal. A mutiny is going to happen because wow. I mean, this keeps happening to excuse me, but that was your plan and it backfired. Okay, he's not the one that came up with it. No, no, no. I actually feel bad for this guy. And he's the bad guy. That was that was all kinds of not necessary. All right, let's get going. That's more what I was expecting.
Hail, hail, rock and roll. Fill my ears and lift my soul, yeah.
Go get him, Attila.
And that's the end. So, basically, uh, when it comes down to it, we see I mean, when it comes to Attila, uh, at first his character kind of confused me with the dialogue, as you saw, but I finally realized that it's the 90s rap we had. I remember it. I remember it well. And and then of course when it at one point Attila was crying. He had tears coming out of his robots don't cry. So the cartoon logic again with robots happened here. It's hilarious to me. It's like cartoons don't understand robots at all. Rarely does it because when you have cartoon robots blinking and crying, basically moving around like Jello, it's like, do you really know how these work? And then when it comes to this to the I think his name is Zinc. I always get him mixed up, and I think the yellow guy is Zinc. I truly believe that he's going to mutiny. He's going to turn against because that was the other guy's plan. And then for him to just say, this keeps happening to you. It's like, dude, uh-uh. So anyway, that was episode 5.